Hello everyone. Today I'm going to show you how to polish your project, which is the last step in completing your metalwork and jewelry projects. So this is the polishing machine right here. You'll notice there's two different wheels. So there's two different types of polish that we do. So you're going to do this twice for every project that you do. The first wheel is on this side, and there's a little label right here that you can't see. This is Tripoli. So the Tripoli polish is white. You'll notice like it's lighter back here, like behind it. This side is very red. You should see that. This is a thicker polish. It goes into the small lines and cracks that you can't see, and it really kind of smooths things over. The second polish is a red rouge, and that is the red polish, hence the name red rouge. And this is a finer polish that will really make your project really shiny, and it'll fill in all the little tiny details that you have at the end. So this polishing machine, the switch is on the back. That's how you turn it on. There's polishing rules, which you can't see at the moment, but you want to always make sure that you roll up your sleeves. So you should have nothing hanging from your neck, from your head, from your hands, your fingers, nothing. Always roll up your sleeves, make sure there's nothing hanging. Remove your headphones so that you can hear what's going on and hear the people around you. You want to pull back your hair. So because this machine spins in a circle, anything that gets, and spins very fast, anything that gets close to it, and potentially could get sucked up into it while it's working. I've never seen it happen. I've never had a student have it happen. I've just heard awful stories of like if you have long hair and your hair were to get stuck in here, it would just rip it out. So pull your hair back. You want to make sure that you wear the face shield, which previously nobody wanted to wear a face shield. But these are in style now since, it's the pandemic and everything. So you want to make sure that you wear a face shield. If you look at the front of it, you can see all the polish on it. This is to keep your face from getting polish on it when you put polish on, but also to prevent anything from flying into your face. So these wheels, if you don't hold your project hard enough, you can potentially, because it's spinning this way, it may grab your project and either send it into the vent back here, the filter, or it might take your project and then throw it back across the room, or in your case, into your face. So you want to make sure you always have a face shield on just to keep your eyes protected and keep yourself safe. So always wear a face shield. Take off any jewelry, so anything that's hanging. A watch is fine. There's no reason my watch should be all the way up here. So that's fine, but any bracelets that are hanging, any necklaces, any ties, any strings, any hair, nothing should be hanging around this wheel while you're working on it. So take things off. You always want to use both hands when you're working. So when I'm holding this, I'm going to use both hands like this, because you can't do the whole thing at once. You have to do it in small portions. Hold it with both hands at all times, just because you want to have a really good grip on it, because like I said, this is a very strong wheel that does, once it starts spinning, it can take, grab your project. You want to hold your metal tightly, and you want to work between, if this was a clock, 3 o'clock and 6 o'clock. So this area right here is the only area on this wheel that you're going to work into, which means you're going to press your project against it in this area. You're not going to hold it like this because it's going to like jut against it as it spins. You're going to work with it. This wheel is going to spin into your project and put the polish on there. So between 3 and 6, you need to make sure that you hold it, and you always need to make sure you hold it down at an angle like this. If you hold it up and it hits like just the edge of it, it's not going to polish this thing. So you really need to expose every area of your project to it, and then remove anything hanging from yourself. So anything that is hanging or loose, take off. Better safe than sorry. So you're going to put on your face shield, and you're going to turn the wheel on. This will not hurt you. At most, you'll get polish on your fingers, and I'll show you what that looks like. It does get hot because it's spinning so fast. It causes friction, and your hands and your project, if you leave them in the same spot for too long, it will get hot. So if your project gets hot, as you're polishing it, you want to make sure that you take it away, that you let it cool down, and then keep going from there. You don't have to do this all at once. You can let things cool down. There's no point in burning your fingers because you're trying to hurry. So you're going to turn it on. And like I said, this won't hurt you if you touch it like that. So don't worry about your fingers getting close. This is the polish that'll get on your hands. You're fine just to touch it if it gets close to your hands. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take this polish and you're going to put it on like that. You're going to hold your project with both hands, and you're going to press it tightly against the wheel. so it looks like that. So I'm pressing it and I'm turning it, and you can see how shiny the top is. If you're getting this black stuff on it, and it's not shiny at all, there's two things. One, you need to press harder against the wheel because it's not really polishing, it's just sitting on top. Or you may need to clean it off. So just make sure you're pressing really hard. And you're going to do the front and back. So this is what my front looks like right now. You're going to do the front and the back. And then you're going to clean it off. So you're going to come over to the sink, which is right next to the polishing machine. Over here, you'll find a crusty old toothbrush and hand soap. You're going to put a squeeze of soap on the brush, and then you're going to scrub your project. And you're going to scrub it so you get all the black stuff off, if there is any black stuff on there. And you're going to do the front and the back. If the brush isn't taking off the black stuff, like it's just really thick on there, use your finger to scrape it off. Your fingernail should not put scratches in it. Then you do the front and the back, scrub it, make sure it's nice and clean. Then you're going to dry it with a paper towel because you don't want to put a wet project on polish. Dry it. So you can see this is what my project looks like. Pretty shiny. For the first polish. Once it's dry, we're going to come back over to the polishing wheel. We're going to do the second side. So same thing, we're going to put the face mask on your head. You're going to turn it on. You're going to hold the polish in your hand and you're going to let it sit like right here for a second. You don't want too much on there. And then you're going to do the same exact thing. So you're going to do the front and the back. Now this is how shiny it looks now. So you can see it's like super shiny now. See there's a little bit of black polish there in the center. And you can see that I didn't finish filing it because I am doing my videos. So I did not finish filing it, so you can see it's a little bumpy. Same thing, toothbrush. Put some soap on here. Scrub, scrub, scrub. Put the brush aside, dry it again. And then you can see this is my finished, super shiny project. So at this point, you're going to look at your project, you're going to look and be honest with yourself. Do you see scratches in there? Did you sand it enough? Like I didn't sand mine enough because I'm just doing demos and I'm not doing the whole thing. So obviously, at this point, I would go back with my number 600. Sandpaper, grit sandpaper, and I would just go back and I would sand this more. And you can sand it for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, polish it. You can do this as much as you want. You can go back and forth between the polish and the sanding. And then once you're happy with it, what I would do is wrap it up carefully in a paper towel, and this will keep it safe and it'll keep it from getting scratched, especially in your bin with your tools and things like that. However, do not throw your project in the trash because you think it's trash. So make sure if you do wrap this up in the paper towel that you pay attention to where it is, and then when you're cleaning out your box, don't throw it out, especially if I haven't graded it yet, because if I haven't graded it yet, then you have to make a whole nother one. So once it's finished, wrap it up and take good care of it. You can make a jump ring if you wanted to make this, so you could hang it from something. But polishing is the last thing you're going to do. So it's the last step you do no matter what project we do. You always solder first. If there's polish on here, the solder won't work. So this is the last step in every single project that we do for metalworking and jewelry. Also to note, if your project is too small, or it has a chain, or it has links, or something, you cannot use the polishing wheel. If you don't feel comfortable at any point using the polishing wheel, let me know and I will polish it for you. But we do have a tumbler, which is like a rock tumbler. I don't know if you guys still, if they exist anymore, if you guys use them. It was something I had when we were growing up where you would tumble rocks for like a month and they'd be super shiny at the end. But it's a tumbler that I put in with soap and stainless steel pieces, and it tumbles for a few hours and it makes it shiny. It doesn't get as shiny as the polishing machine does. However, it's the only way that we can polish things that are too small to hold on to, or that are chains or links or earrings or clasps or things like that. So that goes in the tumbler. You don't ever, ever, ever polish anything with a chain or that's too small for you to hold on to on the polishing machine.